Hello, this is Sydney with Rush Systems Integration, and today we're going to do a build overview of the Vitesse Mid Range System. In this video we're going to go through all the parts that I chose, why I chose them, and also we're going to show me building the build, and also we're going to do some gaming benchmarks of the finished system. This video is sponsored by Rush Systems Integration, premium gaming systems tailored just for you, starting at $8.99. Visit our website, rush-systems.com, to get started. Alright, let's go through some of the parts in the build and why I chose them. Firstly, for the CPU, we have the Intel Core i5-9400F, which in my opinion is the best value 6-core processor on the market right now, and it's clocked at 2.9 GHz and turbos up to 4.1. This is an F chip, which means there is no integrated graphics on board, allowing for better value and a lower cost. One competitor to the i5-9400F is the Ryzen 5 3600, which has twice the threads but is significantly more expensive. And a lot of games don't utilize 12 threads, so 6 cores should be good enough for our build. You might ask, why not 10th gen Intel? I chose 9th generation because it allows better value when it comes to the cost of the CPU and motherboard combined. Alright, for our graphics card we have the EVGA GeForce RTX 2060 6GB KO Ultra Gaming. So this graphics card is the perfect balance between price and performance at around $350, bringing all the performance you need for 1080p and even up to 1440p resolutions. This graphics card should be great for our mid-range Vitesse build. So for our motherboard, we have the Gigabyte B365M-DS3H. This motherboard is pretty much all you need to get started with the gaming build. It has the B365M chipset, which doesn't have all the bells and whistles of a Z370 board, but we're not overclocking anyways because we have a non-K chip, so this board should do the job. So for our CPU cooler, we're using the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Black Edition. So for this CPU cooler, it's a lot better than the stock cooler, and it'll do the job for cooling our Intel i5-9400F. For our RAM, we're going with 16 GB of Corsair Vengeance LPX 3200 MHz RAM, and 16 GB should be good enough for gaming and any kind of productivity tasks you're throwing at it. For our storage, we have the Crucial P1 500 GB M.2 drive. So we're going for M.2 storage for our boot drive to ensure the fastest operation of our PC, and Crucial claims up to 2000 MB sequential read and write. So this drive should be blazing fast in conquering productivity tasks and loading games. For our power supply, we have the EVGA 450BR. This should cover all our power needs, and 450 watts should be good enough for this 2060 and i5. So yeah, it's bronze certified and should do the job very well. Now finally for our case, this is the Fractal Design Define C TG. So this has a very sleek minimalistic design that evokes a premium feel to our PC, and includes a tempered glass side panel, fits up to ATX motherboards, and has ample clearance for any of our cable management needs. Alright, so that wraps up all the parts in the build, and now we're going to go through a time lapse of me building the system. Now we're going to do some gaming benchmarks of the system in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Metro Exodus, and Wolfenstein Youngblood. All of our tests were run at 1080p with the latest NVIDIA graphics drivers. In Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we ran the benchmark at the highest settings. The system got on average 101 frames per second during the benchmark. In Metro Exodus, we ran the benchmark at ultra settings, achieving an average frame rate of 61 frames per second. In Wolfenstein Youngblood, we ran the game at uber settings, with our average being 135 frames per second. Overall, the Vitesse Mid Range System performed well in the 3 AAA titles that we tested, and should be very capable of running any game at ultra settings with a stable frame rate. If you would like to purchase the Vitesse Mid Range System, it is available on our website for $11.99 at rush-systems.com. Thanks for watching.